What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another Pokemon Theory, where I like to take a look at some of the cool and interesting theories and mysteries that are present in the Pokemon world. Today's theory is sort of a pseudo-sequel to a theory I covered months ago that talked about the Black Tower and what its potential purpose might be. Rather than talking about the Black Tower again, I want to talk about the White Treehollow, which is sort of the counterpart to the Black Tower. The White Treehollow only appears in Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 as a post-game area you can challenge. Strangely enough, the White Forest, where the White Treehollow is located at, does appear in the original Pokemon Black and White, but the White Treehollow is nowhere to be found in the original games. Only in Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 is the player able to access it and challenge the labyrinth of trainers beneath it. In the games, the White Treehollow functions very similarly to the Black Tower, where it's almost like a challenge area of sorts. You're trying to make your way to the lowest floor of the Treehollow by battling various trainers in a randomly generated maze. It might sound easy at first, but the further you go into the Treehollow, the bigger the areas become and the tougher the trainers get. That's actually one of the reasons on why it took so long to put together this video. About 99% of the information we get on the White Treehollow is from trainers inside of it. In order to try and get all the facts and info on this place, I set out to try and battle every trainer in the Treehollow, get as much information on this place as possible to make a complete theory video on it. Unfortunately, due to every floor of the Treehollow being a maze, as well as there being well over 150 different trainers to battle, I might have missed battling some trainers, which means that it's entirely possible that I might have missed information they might have said on the White Treehollow. If I missed any important information somebody might have said in the Treehollow that relates to its secrets, feel free to share it in the comments section below, because I'd love to learn more about the Treehollow. That being said, even though I might have missed some information on the White Treehollow, what info I have found is pretty interesting and is enough to speculate and make theories on the area. Alright, let's get started theorizing on the Treehollow now, and let's first go over one of the bigger mysteries about this area. It's been confirmed that some kind of ancient civilization used to live in the White Treehollow. Numerous trainers throughout the Treehollow will mention finding evidence and artifacts of an ancient civilization. Nothing else besides confirming people used to live inside the White Treehollow is confirmed about this ancient group, but still though, people used to live inside this thing and the network of caves beneath it. The Unova region is full of ancient relics and ruins, and I've taken the liberty of marking all of the notable ones on a Unova map, including some towns that have been said to have been built in the ancient past, as well as the White Treehollow. The reason I'm doing this is not because I'm insane, but to see which ruins and ancient structures are closest to the White Treehollow, so we can start to theorize and speculate on possible connections between the Treehollow and other ruins and shrines around the area. Hopefully we'll be able to get a glimpse at what happened to the White Treehollow's residents by looking at possible connections and relations to surrounding areas. While many of the ruins and ancient buildings seem to be too far away to have any kind of connection to the White Treehollow, one of the shrines in the game, the Abundant Shrine, is in very close proximity to the White Treehollow and White Forest. The description of the Abundant Shrine states that people once lived in this village and it still feels the same as it did then. With people having lived in both the White Treehollow as well as in the area around the Abundant Shrine, is it possible that these two groups of people have a connection to each other? While nothing official is ever said on this, I have a theory on the civilization in the White Treehollow being the same group of people who inhabited the Abundant Shrine's land. The driving force for this theory comes from one of the myths surrounding the Forces of Nature trio, which is tied to the Abundant Shrine's history. The legend around the Abundant Shrine says that a long time ago, Tornadus and Thunderous were wreaking havoc upon the land with tornadoes and thunderstorms, which is kind of their thing. Landorus, being pissed at what they were doing, put an end to their excessive natural disaster making. The people of the land were so thankful that they constructed the Abundant Shrine in honor of Landorus saving and protecting them and their land. Here's where the theory kicks in. It's never specified how long Tornadus and Thunderous were causing natural disasters, but assuming that it was a long period of time, perhaps the people who inhabited the Abundant Shrine's land were forced to move somewhere safer to avoid all of the destruction that was being caused. With the White Treehollow being very close to the area where they would supposedly be living, it would make sense that they would move inside of it and underground to escape all of the disasters that would be happening upon the land. Once Landorus put an end to all of the chaos, all the people who moved into the White Treehollow would then decide to return back to their former land and make a shrine honoring Landorus for saving them and their land. This is all just a theory, but it does kind of explain who the group of people who inhabited both the White Treehollow and Abundant Shrine are, as well as why a group of people would ever decide to live inside of a giant tree and in caves beneath it. Unfortunately, we don't get any more info on the civilization inside the White Treehollow, so there's not really enough information to make any other theories about them, such as what their society might have been like or how long they might have stayed there. Alrighty, so now that we've talked about the potential group of people that might have lived inside of it, let's talk about just what exactly the White Treehollow is and what its purpose is. Sure, it was used as a home for an ancient civilization, and it's currently being used as a Pokemon battle area, but what is its real purpose? There's many people who mention all sorts of interesting details about the White Treehollow, so I'm sure there's more to it than just being a gigantic tree. Many people inside mention a treasure at the bottom. The reports on what exactly the treasure is differ between different trainers, but it seems that many people really want their hands on that glorious treasure. As it turns out, the rumor of a treasure being at the bottom was just a false rumor spread by a guy who wanted strong trainers to come to the Treehollow and battle him. What actually appears at the bottom of the White Treehollow is more or less as interesting as a false rumor. Rather than a treasure or a tomb or something exciting being at the lowest point, you get to battle Benga, who is Alder's grandson. He has a pretty high team, and you are able to get a shiny Dratini in Flockacy Town after you battle him, but he never shares any interesting details on the White Treehollow, which is kind of a bummer. While Benga might be a dead end in terms of details on the White Treehollow, there is one person who does share a pretty interesting detail about the White Forest and White Treehollow. There's an NPC who lives in a house near the Treehollow that says to listen to the voice of the forest and of the White Treehollow. The reason this is interesting and isn't just throwaway dialogue like in Join Shorts is that there's actually a Pokemon out there who has been called the voice of the forest, and it's possible this old man might be referring to it. The Pokemon who has been called the voice of the forest is none other than Celebi, which is a Generation 2 legendary who we've seen time and time again. It's been said to be the guardian of the Ilex Forest and possesses time travel abilities, as well as plant and foliage related abilities, such as restoring plants to full health. The Ilex Forest is the only area that is specifically said to have Celebi as a guardian, but I think it's possible that other forests could have Celebi as a protector too. There's many large forests in the Pokemon world that need protection, and with this old man referencing the voice of the forest, I think it's likely that a Celebi watches over the White Forest. Why does this matter though? What significance does a Celebi being a guardian of the White Forest have, and how does it relate to the White Treehollow? Well, I have a theory on this. It's kind of crazy, but I think that it does make a little bit of sense. At least in my encounters in the White Treehollow, nobody ever says why it suddenly appeared between the events of the original Black and White and Black 2 and White 2. It's possible I missed some dialogue about the Treehollow popping up, but still though. 2 years is definitely not enough time for something as big and cavernous as this thing to grow naturally, so what if Celebi is actually the force behind the White Treehollow suddenly appearing? Celebi could have either time traveled the tree from the past to the present, or even possibly used its plant healing powers to make the White Treehollow grow again at a much faster rate than a normal tree would. Either of these explanations could explain why it suddenly just appeared in the gap between the original Black and White and their sequels. As for why Celebi would do something like this, I believe it would be to protect the people and Pokemon of the White Forest and the surrounding area. Celebi is known as a forest guardian, so it makes sense that it would try and protect all of the creatures and people of the White Forest, perhaps many other from places all over Unova. What is Celebi trying to protect all of these people and Pokemon from though? What kind of event or disaster would be big enough that Celebi would bring something as large as the White Treehollow back to life to protect people? Well, the answer to that is not as crazy as you might think. It's Team Plasma. In the original Black and White, Team Plasma's goals didn't necessarily put anybody in danger. They just wanted to liberate all Pokemon from trainers, and depending on your viewpoint, this can be seen as either good or bad. Getsus was ultimately using the group to rule Unova, but as a whole, Team Plasma's ultimate goal of separating people and Pokemon wasn't as inherently evil or threatening as trying to flood the world, or blow up a region, or destroy and remake the entire universe. In Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, the reformed Team Plasma, helmed by Getsus, actually does pose quite a bit of danger to the Unova region. Rather than just trying to free Pokemon from trainers, this newly reformed team is working to take over Unova by force. Instead of simply using Pokemon in Pokemon battles, they also use the Plasma Frigate, which harnesses Kyurem's power to fuel a super-powered weapon that can freeze entire cities. This definitely counts as something that would threaten the White Forest, and with Getsus planning to freeze the entire region, this also puts all of Unova in danger too. With Celebi being a time traveler, it could have seen the future where Team Plasma used the Plasma Frigate to freeze Opelucid City, or even a future where Team Plasma succeeded in their goal and froze the entire Unova region, and it might have proceeded to revive the White Treehollow before the events of Black and White 2 happen, in order to protect and save people around the region from the frozen future that could possibly happen. Like the theory I proposed earlier where the ancient civilization used the White Treehollow as refuge from tornadoes and thunderstorms, the modern people of the Pokemon world could use it as safety from the new Team Plasma's plan. It's entirely possible that people could live down there for an extended period of time, as the air is fresh and clean, there's food in the form of flowers, and there's even water too. The White Treehollow could almost be considered an apocalyptic bunker of sorts. And that's ultimately what I think the White Treehollow's purpose is. It's nature's answer to a fallout shelter or some kind of safety bunker. We don't really know how it was created, but with it potentially being used as refuge from Tornadus and Thundurus, along with it also possibly being used as a safety area from Team Plasma's freezing, it seems like it's almost tailored for being a place of safety from outside threats. Unfortunately, that's really all the theories I have on the White Treehollow. It's a safe place brought into the present by Celebi to protect people from Team Plasma. Surprisingly, even though I feel like there's less info on the White Treehollow than there is on the Black Tower, we've still been able to piece together quite a few theories. I'd love to know more about this place officially though, but with Gen 5 being relatively recent, we probably won't be seeing Unova or the White Treehollow again anytime soon. As always, feel free to share your own thoughts and theories on the White Treehollow in the comments section below. As I said in the beginning, the White Treehollow is such a big area that it's definitely possible I might have missed some information that would help unravel the mysteries behind it. So if you've seen any informative comments from trainers inside of the Treehollow, feel free to post them in the comments section below. Thanks for watching this Pokemon Theory everybody, and I'll catch you later.